Hello, I'm Citrus, and you're not looking at the Gundam Exia Repair II because, thanks to a bit of bad planning on Bandai's part, every single high-grade Exia comes with the parts to build the original Exia here, minus the shoulder ribbons. On the left, we have the Super HCM Pro Exia, which I reviewed previously, and you can see some pretty significant differences in the proportions, particularly in the thicker legs, arms, smaller shoulders, and tinier GN drive. And here's a closer look of the Exia just on its own before we move into all the Repair 2 parts. There are quite a lot of colors missing on this kit actually, and if you check out my build video, you can see exactly just how many parts I've had to put colors on. It's quite a bit of work if you don't want to use the stickers, but when you do, the result looks pretty nice. Before we move on to the Repair 2 parts, I do want to talk about the shoulder ribbons you get on the regular Exia, and they're very soft, and that means you can put the shoulder armor relative to the arm in any position and it'll actually stay there. On a lot of the versions of the Exia, the shoulder ribbon is a much stiffer material, so the armor tends to force the arm out of position a lot. To change the regular Exia into Repair 2, we get new shoulders with vents on the front and back, new forearms that add an elbow guard, a new back piece for the torso that changes the sculpt on the side, a new butt without the beam saber handles, new thighs with an articulating hip, these ones are fixed, and new calves which feature an extra thruster on the back. The GN sword gets a new clear green blade. Here is the finished Repair 2 Exia, and the differences are really subtle. If you aren't an Exia fan or you're not familiar with the design, you probably wouldn't notice the differences at all at first glance. The process to change the parts is not too difficult, but I wouldn't recommend doing it too many times, just so you don't break anything. Unfortunately, we don't get any new biceps, so you'll still have the old ones that have the slots for the shoulder ribbons. And as for articulation, nothing really changes. You have the slightly more than 90 in the elbow, and you have a pretty good knee bend there. The thighs do get extra rotation because the new thigh pieces are separated from the rest of the leg, but otherwise, excellent ankles from the old Exia, and a pretty limited waist swivel, just one direction, no bend forwards or back. This is the original Exia GN drive, which is just one piece. All of these colors I put in myself. And the Repair 2 comes with the option of a burst mode drive, which is made of 3 pieces. Unfortunately, the middle piece is cast entirely in gray, so you have to paint it up if you want to look nice. The arms here are cast in white, so you have to paint those as well. To increase hip mobility, I recommend shaving down these 2 bits here on the inside of the Repair 2 back skirt. We start off with the GN long and short blades from the original Exia, followed by the disappointing one-piece beam saber. No effect parts here. Here's a kneeling pose showing off the GN shield and sword. Here's a resting pose with the Exia holstering the GN blades on his hips. Alternatively, you can holster the beam sabers on the hips instead. For no reason in particular, here's a scene of the Repair 2 facing off with the O Gundam. When I first got into Gunpla back in 2010, the Astraea Type F was the first high grade I'd ever built, and at the time I thought it was a fantastic kit. This is basically the same on the inside, and even today it's still pretty good, but unlike some of its other 00 brethren, this kit has really started to show its age. The fact that there's so many pieces that you have to paint, for example the GN drives, the GN blades, and the shield, which are basically all cast in one color, really goes to show how far high grades have come in the last couple of years. It might just be a pipe dream, but if Bandai were to make a revive of this, perhaps with upgraded proportions, they would give us a lot more gray plastic inside of all of our pieces so that we wouldn't have to use stickers anymore. Now, for a Exia Repair 2 in the 1144 scale, This isn't the best looking option because now there is a real grade, but because it is a premium Bandai web exclusive, it is quite pricey. So if you're willing to roll up your sleeves and put in a little bit of work, this kit at 1200 yen is a pretty good deal. And frankly, for those of us who like putting the work into our kits, it's probably the better proposition anyway. For me, this build was particularly frustrating, but I'm really pleased with the final result. And as a matter of fact, I'm quite looking forward to rebuilding my high-grade Astraea Type F once again. That'll probably come along sometime in the future after I've covered my other high-grade 00 kits. But in the meantime, that's all for this review. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. I recently hit 500 followers on Instagram, and this is a pretty big deal for me because I can't social media at all. So to show my appreciation for you guys, and to help you guys along your Gunpla adventures, I went out and bought these for you. One is the 12-inch Exacto Cutting Mat, and another one is the GHGN 125 God Hand Nippers. These aren't the fancy $50 ones, because I don't have too much money, but it's still quite excellent. For full details of the giveaway, check out my Instagram here. I really appreciate all the follows, subscribes, likes, comments, and all the support you guys have shown me throughout the years. Happy building, and I'll see you guys next time.